me! We need more
No explosions,
oxygen!
no alarms, no time to escape. Just one invisible mistake, spreading silently through the air, through crowded streets, through entire cities. Within weeks, the world you know collapses. Hospitals fall, nations turn on each other, and nature itself rises to finish what humanity started. This is not just a story about the end of the world. It's a warning. So stay with me until the end and follow this channel, because once you hear how it all ends, you may never see the world the same way again. At first, the end of the world did not arrive with fire falling from the sky. There were no screaming crowds, no collapsing skyscrapers. It began with silence. A silence so small, so microscopic, that humanity dismissed it as harmless. One patient, one unexplained fever, one cough in a crowded room. And then another. Inside modern hospitals, filled with glass walls and glowing screens, doctors searched desperately for answers that did not yet exist. Outside, life continued as usual. Cafes were full. Children played in parks. The world kept moving, unaware that it had already stepped onto a path with no return. The disease spread without sound, without mercy, without borders. It moved through air, through touch, through trust. It traveled faster than news reports, faster than government warnings, faster than fear itself. By the time the world truly paid attention, it was already everywhere. Cities dimmed, highways emptied, airports fell silent. Skyscrapers stood frozen like massive tombstones over abandoned streets. Hospitals overflowed. Beds filled hallways. Doctors slept on cold floors, if they slept at all. Ventilators became more valuable than gold. Medicine ran out. And death became routine. Names turned into numbers. Funerals turned into statistics. Grief became something people learned to swallow quietly. As weeks passed, hope began to fracture. Science struggled. Governments argued. Lies spread faster than truth. Neighbors no longer looked at each other with kindness, but with suspicion. Every breath became a threat. Every stranger a potential danger. When healthcare systems collapsed, society followed. Supermarkets were stripped bare. Police forces thinned. Laws lost meaning. The world returned to something ancient and brutal: survival. Borders slammed shut. Flights were grounded. Nations isolated themselves behind walls and weapons. Alliances weakened. Trust evaporated. And from the fear of extinction, something darker was born: war. What began as political tension escalated into open hostility. Conflicts erupted over vaccines, food, clean water, and control. Diplomacy failed. Weapons spoke. The sky changed. Fighter jets tore through the clouds. Missiles launched towards cities that once symbolized progress. Explosions echoed across landscapes that had already suffered enough. Buildings collapsed in fire and dust. Power grids failed. Communication went dark. Children hid in basements. Parents whispered promises they knew they could not keep. Humanity was now at war with itself. Many believed this was the lowest point, that nothing could be worse than disease and war combined. They were wrong. The Earth had been watching, enduring centuries of abuse, and now it responded. The ground began to tremble, at first gently, like a warning, then violently. Fault lines split open beneath weakened cities. Buildings swayed, then collapsed. Entire neighborhoods vanished into the earth. Volcanoes awakened across the planet, answering one another like ancient beasts. Mountains erupted. Rivers of molten fire swallowed everything in their path. Ash filled the sky. The sun faded into a dull red shadow. Day turned into endless twilight. Then, the oceans rose. Massive tsunamis raced towards coastlines at unimaginable speed. Walls of water taller than skyscrapers erased cities in minutes. What war had spared, water destroyed. Storms intensified beyond anything in recorded history. Hurricanes consumed continents. Winds tore the world apart. Lightning cracked the sky like fractures in reality itself. Fire, water, earth, wind. All four elements turned against the species that believed it ruled them. There was nowhere left to run. No borders, no shelters, no weapons powerful enough to fight a planet. One by one, the last lights went out. Satellites fell silent. Cities went dark. The noise of civilization faded into nothing. And then, silence. Not peace. Absence. The Earth continued to orbit the sun, but the warmth no longer reached its surface. Ash blocked the light. Cold crept across the planet. Oceans froze. Forests turned into crystal graves. What remained of humanity existed only as ruins beneath ice and dust. The blue jewel of the solar system became a lifeless rock, drifting endlessly through space. No voices remained to tell the story. No hands left to rebuild. No memories except those carved into stone and ash. The end of the world was not one single disaster. It was a chain of choices, ignored warnings, delayed action, arrogance disguised as progress. And as this story fades into darkness, one final question remains. Is this only a story of how the world could end, or a warning of how it will, if we refuse to listen?